What up, team? What up, men? I feel like we're at fire pit sessions with Uncle Trav. Welcome to my living room. I'm honored today to talk about our second value, reading the wind. We read the wind. And if you haven't had a chance to listen to Michael talk about cultivating thin places, press pause, find that video, listen to it first. Okay. I'm honored to talk about reading the wind because I love to read the wind. It's deeply in line with who I am. Matter of fact, I pulled out my, I wear this hook from New Zealand. I wear this hook anytime I'm near the water, which reminds me, the image I have in my mind is to relax and to take my moment by moment and to understand what's happening around me and how to participate with the energy moving or not moving. So reading the wind, it's a funky concept because you're reading something that's invisible. So I'm reading the impact of the wind. Branches moving, sand, white caps on the ocean. I can feel it on my skin if I'm really still. And places that we read the wind, kiteboarding. That's why we love sailing, I think. Even as kids flying kites. And so I want to invite you to a story first. You're going to have to imagine with me. So get in a space where you're quiet and you can put your feet on the ground or curl up in a ball. Close your eyes, and I want you to imagine that you are a captain on a boat, on a sailboat. You're an old, salty, weathered captain, or you're a young, green skipper, someone new to the job. You're in the Caribbean island hopping, or you're moving a boat from the continent of Africa west across the Atlantic Ocean, whatever it is, whatever time frame it is. It might be a few hundred years ago. I want you to imagine that you're in charge of a boat. You have people and things, goods on your boat, and you're the skipper. And your job is to participate with the energy of the wind in a direction that she's already moving. You're not in charge of the wind, of starting it. You're not in charge of stopping it. You're not in charge of the direction, but you are the skipper of your boat, and you're in charge of your sails, raising your sails, having them trimmed in a direction that might optimize your boat movement. You're in charge of reefing your sails if the wind is too great. You're in charge of deciding not to sail if the winds are extreme. And you're in charge of waiting if there is no wind. So I want to bring you back. That is reading the wind. That's a simple illustration of reading the wind. Okay, I want to read our value to you. This is super important in my life, but it also happens to be one of our 5 or 6 values for our leadership team. We read the wind. We seek a powerful effortlessness, an unforced flow of grace, where we are carried by a presence and power greater than ourselves. Rather than efforting to make things happen in our own strength, rather than going our own way, we raise the sails and let God's wind make our course clear, trusting Jesus as our great captain. We follow him. We don't ask him to follow us. There's a lot there. I want to pause and look at my notes. reading the wind helps me. Another way to think about it is reading the energy that's already around us. If you've ever surfed, working with the ocean instead of against it. If you've ever kayaked or rafted, you're working with the flow of certain currents and not against it. It's helped me overcome struggles. It's helped me win fights. I'm currently raising teenage daughters, and I work inside of and own a business. And so reading the natural energy of where God is already moving has helped me in all those areas. One thing I want to pause and say is that I know that I live inside of a larger story, but that I have a role to play. And it's a critical role, because if I don't play this role in the story, nobody else will. And so reading the wind has helped me play the role of Travis Shepherd even more critically inside of work, family, friends, all the areas. Okay, we're almost there. As far as reading the wind, there's a nuance. Where is there not energy? Asking the question from the opposite way. Where am I running into brick walls and dead ends, and I'm having to force things to happen? Also critical to pay attention to as we're reading telltale signs around us. And telltales are the little tails on the mainsail that hopefully are flying parallel to the boat to tell us that our sails are trimmed well. Okay, so I want to finish with if you're like, I don't even know what this guy's talking about, this is so, juju. Michael last week encouraged us to pace ourselves, to pause, to be present, and just to be aware of what's happening. I think that it was beautiful as I do that. Listen to when you're watching a movie or reading a book and you are crying or wanting to cry. Follow your tears. Or on the opposite, when you're getting fired up, when you're feeling so alive watching a scene or a thing come together in a story. Pay attention to those things and be curious around them. I have a value around friendship that I call Stephen, and it started in the movie BraveHeart, where the three primary masculine characters, Stephen, William, and Hamish, as the movie progressed, they could read each other. They didn't have to speak to know what the other man was thinking or feeling. And they were really nuanced onto the energy that was happening around them, and then the larger story that they were playing into the potential freedom of the country that they lived in. So I feel like I'm rambling at this point, but reading the wind is a value of our team, and I want to invite you this week to slow down and to feel on your skin or inside your soul where the Spirit of God is moving, and to work with Him and not against Him.